Okay, I'll call the meeting to order, the Buhl City Council meeting on Tuesday, October 15th, 2019. Roll call. Ryan, would you please take the roll?
Councilor Lehman. Here. Councilor Marcus.
Here.
Councilor Kuechly. Here. Councilor Milich.
Here.
Mayor Klarich.
Here. Next, we'll have the 2020 preliminary budget. Diana, would you please step to the podium and give us your words of wisdom and your numbers of wisdom?
Absolutely. So we are going to, I think everybody has it in front of them. It was in your front pocket in your book. We're going to start with the City Council Department budget. So that budget is set preliminary at $14,498. There's not much of a change, $657 lower than the 2019 budget. Any questions on that one?
Yeah, let's follow this, go through each one and just say what the number is, and we have questions. And highlight anything that you think was notable for us.
The next one is the mayor's budget, and that is at $4,972, which is only $200 difference from the 2019 budget.
Less.
Yes. Next is the administration budget. And that is at $156,392. That is up $11,215, which is an 8% increase. The increases are the health insurance, that went up 6.2%. Wages and computer expense. We're actually leasing computers. So in the past, we've always bought, so it hasn't hit the budget except for every 4 years when we buy new computers, but now we're gonna be leasing them, so.
And this wage will reflect the one that we're gonna pass later this evening.
Yes.
For the both of you. Okay, perfect.
Next is elections. Next year, we'll have 3 elections. There's 2 primaries and 1 general. There's the presidential primary in March, and then the August primary, and then the November general. And that budget is set at $3,597.
Well, we can thank the federal government for that one. But that's the cost of doing business. So.
Right.
Okay, questions, anyone? Okay. If you have a question, once you finish, just ask.
The next is finance, and that is at $18,700. That is $1,215 more than the 2019. And that is mainly for the accounting services. It's our audit and the actuary study that we are required to do every year now.
And that's increases that they told us that.
Yes.
And it's usually an annual increase, or every 3 years or something?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. It's a slight increase from the auditor, and then the actuary is $1,500.
Okay.
So.
In this 2019 amount under bank fees,
Yes.
$1,561.64. What is that, bank fees?
Those are the credit card fees that the city pays when you pay your utility bill by credit card. We're charged so much from Visa and MasterCard.
3% or whatever.
At the end of the year, that will get split out into the enterprise funds because that's everybody's paying their utility bill. But for now, it's just sitting in the general until the end of the year, and then I can just do one
For us using our credit cards to pay.
journal entry.
Oh,
And that's news to
It's
me, I
like-
never knew that. So.
ATM machine, you get charged.
It's like, I don't know if it's like 2% or 1.5% Visa and MasterCard.
It's a standard
charge.
fee, though.
Yes.
Yep.
oh.
Okay, good question, though. I didn't know.
Next is the legal budget, and that's $8,450. It's $1,050 more than the 2019. The legal criminal, we seem to have that's increased this year, so I wanted to make sure we had enough in there for next year.
It's better over budget than under budget. I've always said that personally when I've prepared a budget, so.
I talked to our attorney, he said he's gonna work for half price this year.
Oh, wonderful.
So we can cut that number in half.
But bill twice as much.
Until I see it in writing. Okay.
The next one is personnel, and that is if we have to do any ads for employment, and then background checks and drug testing. We have to do that on all of our summer help, our winter help, our seasonal help, so.
Okay.
Next is planning and zoning, and that's at $1,300. That is, we're hoping to get some new maps made, like a zoning map and some other maps, so that's mainly what that is for right now.
Sounds like we're gonna need it.
I think so. Next one is City Hall. That's at $14,420. Just a slight decrease of $245 from last year, or from this year, the 2019 budget. Next is law enforcement, and that's at $67,600. And that's at, I checked with the sheriff's department and there will be no hourly increase in 2020. It's gonna remain at $65 an hour. So that's budgeting about 20 hours a week at $65 an hour.
It seems reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Next one is the fire department. That is at $33,043. That's $9,131 less. Just going through it, looking at like repairs and maintenance equipment, that is lower. Wages are lower. There's not as many volunteer firemen, firewomen, and looking back in their previous expenses, they haven't really spent, like for the repairs and maintenance, they haven't needed it, so we're really trying to find ways we can cut, so.
This Fire Relief Association, is that the contribution the city makes to the yearly pension?
That is, we actually, yes.
Contributions?
But we get that from the state. The state gives us so much money for the fire relief every year. And usually it's around 3,000, but then the last couple years, they've done a supplemental where it's been like an additional 8,000. So we've been able to give like 11,000 over, but usually the standard is around 3,000. So that's what we budget.
Now, I know before we had the ambulance, okay? Now, without the ambulance, I mean, these people participated as a volunteer, you're on the ambulance and the fire. Now we just have the fire since the ambulance is gone.
Correct.
Now, does that stay the same, or is this, am I missing something here?
No, the fire stays the same, because the ambulance was a separate fund. It was a completely separate fund, separate wages.
Okay.
The fire department, they get paid for their training, the meetings, and fire calls. And they get paid at the end of the year. So that's why you'll see in the 2019, there's no wages listed right now, because that gets all paid out at the end of the year in December.
so ambulance is basically zeroed out off.
Right, yeah, ambulance is not even.
The ambulance usually made money every year, or we never had to put in money to the ambulance because it broke even or they made a few bucks. So the money that we did have to put in was right what we're seeing here, fire department. So, yeah.
With the selling of that you won't have that, no.
Well, you'll see revenues. We don't have revenues on here, but you'll see them.
Yeah, rent and building.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they'll have about $9,600 going into a capital account.
So you'll see, when we do the budget, you'll see the expenses at 33,000, but then you're gonna see some revenues on that with the other.
We'll get into more detail.
Yeah.
Okay,
But there's
that
one
makes
thing-
sense.
One thing that I'd like to see sometime, maybe in the future, would be like what we did for the sheriffs. We put so much money for the car, and we should be.
Well, the part of the lease for the Meds 1,
Is going to that.
9,600 is going into the fire department's capital account.
Oh, okay.
So that can be used.
So there's a back
for
door there
capital-
for them.
Capital expenditures.
Okay.
Just like we did for law enforcement.
Right, yep.
Think about
It's
first.
good to be one step ahead, so we don't get hit all of a sudden all at once. Okay.
And the next one is the fire station, and that is at $11,300, and that's an increase of $4,430. And that's mainly due to utilities. Now that we have people there 24/7, the utilities are more.
We're getting that rent too.
Yeah, we asked for additional rent.
So that's basically gonna be a wash.
We'll see that in the next series. Okay.
Yeah, the city made the adjustment on these price beginning of next year too. The
Right.
city will break even with utilities. The 800 still goes into the fire department.
Yep.
I'm assuming the building inspector has You put in Ryan's house in there already, or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, the next one's the building
You're thinking
inspector.
ahead, aren't you?
Well, I don't.
It's at $4,290. And that's, I mean, right now we pay our building inspector $150 a month consulting, so that's $1,800 a year. And so then I've budgeted $2,200 for other building permits. And I know we have somebody that will be building a new house, so that will be part of it, but then we've had other people with garages and things like that.
Yeah, that other house might be going up too.
Right, so, but this is offset by the revenue we take in for the building permits. So, except for like the printed forms, but the permit charges are offset.
Building permits when we get them.
So, that's it on budget for tonight. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you. No, you'll be presenting again on the 29th, the next part of this? Okay, sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we don't need to do any action on that. So move into reports from the department heads. Public Works, Trent's not here. Ryan, anything that you want to speak for him? Update on the furnace for here, or the boiler?
Yeah, I can,
We just hope to have that in.
yeah, by the end of the week, we should be back up and running to warm, hopefully. It does sound like insurance is going to cover the cost
That's good news.
of the replacement, so.
Okay.
So we're replacing, the whole boiler's getting, a new boiler's getting
Yeah,
put in?
new boiler.
And a new stack?
No, we don't need that stack.
Oh, you don't?
No, it'll just be PVC
PVC
out
going
like
out.
they normally do.
Oh,
in
okay.
ones.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it'll be a high efficiency boiler, so there probably is some rebates from Minnesota Energy that the city will qualify for too.
Who applies for those then? You, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for Trent, there's a short on Memorial Drive, and those lights probably won't be on tonight, but he's gonna get at him again tomorrow morning. It's in that median there. There's a short in the wire someplace underground.
Oh, boy.
Well, there's a couple ways we can do it. I'm gonna help him out a little bit, but we should be able to figure out what's going on tomorrow. We started looking at it today at 2:00 and it started raining and we're digging in the mud and we did find kind of what we were looking for, but you gotta tear that apart and divide the system so you can find out where the bad spot is. So, people call in tomorrow. Trent's working on it and yeah, we know we have the problem and we're trying to get it fixed tomorrow. So.
It's good to know. Fire and ambulance. Stuart, do you have anything?
Not much. We bought some new lights, hand lights and stuff for
Okay.
the trucks and thinking about, I don't know if he purchased or not, but a new light bar for the engine. It's got them old big rotators on there that are drawing way too much power and
Okay.
it's
Yeah, you got a LED in.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. Engineering, will John be back here fairly soon for anything?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow, this far.
No, I meant to the council to report anything.
No, we're working with our attorney on some right-of-way
Okay.
easements. That's
As part of the process to get
part of the
access to
process,
dollars.
and after that's completed, we'll move forward with kind of getting bidding documents ready to go.
Perfect. D, the attorney, Mr. Carney.
Only what's on the agenda, Mayor.
Okay. We'll keep going. E, long range planning and zoning. There's nothing new there, is there?
Nothing new.
Okay.
We didn't have a meeting last time. We didn't have enough people.
We'll probably have one in the near future, so, okay. F, Recreation Board, we still don't have a board, we're still looking for applicants. The Library Board, we had a report not too long ago. VITA meets in 2 weeks, correct? Prior to this, we're gonna have a council meeting on the 29th, and that council meeting will be at 6. And we'll have the VITA meeting at 5:30. We're just moving it up a half an hour
Yeah.
for the public to know. The sheriff, he gave us a report, and that's posted for people to look at to see whatever's out there. Clerk, Ryan.
Just another note on the sheriffs, they will be having some training, I believe tomorrow up at the school. So just in case you get any calls on that. Other than the boilers, the city's still working with the IRRB to secure some grant dollars for maintaining the school and kind of extending our market presence to see what we can do there. And then, after talking with the mayor today, we're going to ask for $40,000 from CDBG for kind of steps, roof, ADA compliance issues around City Hall, and the rest of that funding, whatever the amount, we're gonna look at a USDA community facility grant as well, which is a new program.
Good deal.
I think we've got to get something, that has to get fixed. I was looking with some of you the other
Sounds
night.
like we're gonna get something.
Well, that's good, so, okay. Central Iron Range Sanitary Sewer District, John, we just had a meeting not too long ago. Our next meeting, they've moved it now, it usually is on the second Monday of every month, but there was a conflict because of Veterans Day, so we're gonna have it on the 13th. That's the Wednesday, the second Wednesday of November at the usual time at Craig Bulford Building, or whatever they call that, so there's nothing to report on that. Council additions to the agenda. At this point, I have nothing. So I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, moved by Paul, is there support? Support by Jim. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next, Citizens Forum. I don't believe anybody signed up, so we'll move on from that. I was expecting someone to come in, unless they maybe thought the meeting's at 6:30. Attorney Carney, we can always let them get on later, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll come
so
back to that, Mayor.
if there's a problem with that, I have no problem with that. Okay, number 7, the consent agenda. And that is A, minutes. The regular city council meeting of October 1st, 2019. Then claims. Payroll number 21 was $11,138.79. Accounts payable, $88,645.11 for a total of $99,783.90. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion by Stuart.
No support.
Support by John. Any further comment, question, or discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. We'll now move into the business portion of our meeting. A, blight ordinance enforcement discussion. Okay, I got a couple comments here. And I'll just inform the public, this agenda item is informational, meant to inform the public and update the council on blight winter regulations, ordinance violations, and enforcement. Ryan, you are going to send this out so that all of the people will receive a copy of this too. But I'm just going to highlight the winter regulations and ordinances for parking. That seems to be an issue. We did have some issues at the beginning of the year last year, but they sort of worked themselves out by the end. But just to highlight these so that people are aware of them. And overtime parking, $15. Parking on the wrong side, calendar parking, which will be in effect November 1st, is $15. After hours is $15. I'm not sure the $60. What's the $60 for, Ryan?
That's just what Chisholm had on there.
Okay.
We took Chisholm's,
Okay. So basically it's $15 fine then, okay. 4, parking on the sidewalk, $15. Parking against traffic, $15. Parking in prohibited zone, $15. Improper parking, $15. Obstructing the street, $25. Obstructing a driveway, $20. Number 10, parking in the alley, $15. Does that mean blocking the alley? I just want to double check, okay, because we have a lot of people parking, their garages are there. 11, obstructing the alley, $20. Parked by the fire hydrant, there was no number on that, so.
I think that's
the 60.
Oh, from way over, okay, it just transferred over, okay. $60, excuse me. Double parking, $20. Parked by stop sign, $15. Parked in yellow zone, $20. Impeding the snowplow, $60. And parking over 24 hours,
That's the
$30. Yep, okay, now I see how that is in there, okay. Okay, and then the rest are all gonna be sent to you. There's several pages of ordinances that have been enacted and are enforced and will be enforced. And so that's just informational only. So,
I think in a newsletter too, we should probably send out, you know, we do the ordinance thing, and then just the procedures and you know, if you don't take care of your problem, and then it's gonna go to this, and then it's gonna go to this, and then days wise, just so, you know, in that library flyer.
the progressive fine,
Yeah, so I mean, you take care of it, you got your 20 days, but if you don't do it in 20 days, now this is what happens. So we'll let everybody know, you know, do it, and we're not doing this because we're sitting here doing this, just because this is what the people want. They live in a community too, and you know, you have a few people that don't abide by the rules. And
rules are uniform for all is what you're saying. We all have to obey them, and if we don't, there's potential for penalty. Doesn't mean you're gonna absolutely get fined, but there is potential for penalty. Okay, I think that's great, John. I think we should do that. Is there a motion to approve the blight ordinance enforcement? I'll make the motion. Is there support?
Support.
And supported by Paul. Further comment or discussion? That was a great comment, John. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. We'll now move on to resolution 19-28 CDBG.
And then what I always talk about is not this, you know, not the second offense. I'm talking about the first offense. It goes from you get 20 days, clean up your yard, do something, and then if you don't do it in 20 days, then you go to a misdemeanor and a penalty. You got 20 days to do that, whatever, and then it goes to this, not the 12 months and whatever on first offense, second offense. Just what can happen today.
So we'll have to doctor that up a little bit then, correct?
Yeah, I'll make sure it's clarified.
Okay.
Just as far as the parking tickets go, Chisholm processes that.
That's right.
Yeah, let them know, yep.
The rest will follow kind of our standard unless there's a snowstorm, then we do reserve the right to tow a vehicle if they're
Okay.
impeding.
Just to let people know what can happen if you don't do what you should be doing.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the resolution 19-28. This resolution will authorize the city to apply for and accept funds through the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG. We did get $140,000 last year towards our sewer water projects. It's a competitive grant. We're against many other cities, townships, and areas. And I serve on that committee. I think in the past, John, you've served on that. So, and Ryan did let you know what we're kind of looking at for that money. So, is there a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Stuart. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Jim. Okay, further comment or discussion? Clarification, anything that's needed? Hearing none, this is a resolution, so Ryan, would you please take the roll?
Counselor Lehman?
Yes.
Counselor Marcus?
Yes.
Counselor Kuechly?
Yes.
Counselor Milich?
Yes.
Mayor Clarich?
Yes. Okay, the next is the resolution 19-29 for a polling place. And attached is resolution 19-29 per state statute. Municipalities are required to designate a polling place by December 31st for the upcoming election. The city's polling place will once again be at the senior center in the center of town. Is there a motion? This is routine, so is there a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make it.
I'll support it.
Moved by Stuart, support by John. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none, Ryan, this is also a resolution. Would you please take the roll?
Counselor Lehman?
Yes.
Counselor Marcus?
Yes.
Counselor Kuechly?
Yes.
Counselor Milich?
Yes.
Mayor Clarych?
Yes. Okay, next on the agenda are boiler safety checks. And just for the public to know and for the council, just to review, attaches an agreement between the city and Brian Torgerson to perform checks on the school boilers. Checks must be performed every 48 hours per regulations. Additionally, the boilers are scheduled to be inspected on October 16th and will be put back together later that week. Is there a motion to approve the boiler check agreement?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Paul. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Jim. Now, this is routine. This has always been done for the past several years.
The last couple, 3, yeah.
Yeah. John, you've been involved with this in some
Is this the
respect.
person we were using before?
Yeah, he'd worked up
Okay.
there,
Yeah, he worked at the academy and then
yeah.
we hired him.
So he knows the building. And,
Sure.
He's got the boiler license.
and he's
Yeah.
a good guy, so, okay. Any further comment or question? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Next on the agenda is the Halloween party request. Attached is an email from Taryn Burnett, who is the youth program coordinator for St. Louis County. They are planning to have a Halloween party for kids at the library on October 26th. Excuse me. Since the rec board is struggling with the membership, I would recommend that the city authorize $150 out of the recreation department budget to support this event for the kids in town.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Stuart. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Paul. I'll open it up to discussion. I think this is a great idea. I think it's good for the students. I know that we've had some donations from the community on this too, to help her out a little bit. And hats off to Taryn. She's really been a go-getter in this position for St. Louis County, doing things for our residents and our kids and everybody. So hats off to her, and I appreciate that. Any further comments or questions or concerns or?
Just want to say that she's doing, we had her on our rec board, she did a good job. And
Okay, well, that's good to hear, so. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign, that motion is carried. The rink attendant posting is next on the agenda. Each year, the city budgets for rink attendance during the winter months. Attendants will be paid minimum wage. There is a checklist of duties that have to be done there. They're pretty standard. I'm just gonna go through those so the public understands what should be done there. Shovel, snow, blow both rinks if needed. Flood both rinks if needed. Sweep shack floors, clean shack bathroom, clean and organize the back room. Pick up garbage inside and outside. Wipe down benches, clean the popcorn machine, clean the microwave and sweep out the entire shack. Any other thing that would be considered normal duties to maintain that area. So that's what the attendants would have to do. Is there a motion to approve the posting for the rink attendants with applications due on November 26th?
I'll make that.
Motion by Stuart. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Paul. Further comment or discussion?
How many attendants do you hire for this?
Usually 4.
Yeah, usually 4.
And they rotate one at a time?
No, we have.
I have 2 on it.
We have
Oh, you have two
on.
at a time, okay.
Yeah.
And Ryan, you're gonna be the
Yeah, in the past, Keith worked for the rink for how many years and enjoyed it, but unfortunately he passed last year, so he was more or less the supervisor, and I've just kind of taken over that role with the
So if
kids.
we get a heavy snow, do they do this while they're scheduled to work, or can they work outside of the hours to get that cleaned off for them? I'm not clear.
Well, with heavy snow, we usually go up to our skid steer and our blower.
And get it, help them out.
And
Okay,
then
that's
the
good.
loader will go on the public rink.
So the routine maintenance is.
The only thing is I'm living by there, we live by there, and the cold weather rules should be changed a little bit. I mean, I've seen them out there when it's, 10 degrees and it's 25-mile-an-hour wind. Nobody's gonna come out there. I mean, we should have.
Do you want to add a guideline to this?
Well, I would.
Now's the time to do it.
I mean, I would.
That be legal?
I don't know.
Attorney
There
Frank?
was a guideline, but I don't remember what it is.
I don't know if
I've also seen them playing hockey when it was 20 below. So I don't know.
That's addressed in their little checklist as well, but anyway, their hours have to be approved by me. So.
and I would say, Ryan, you could put like a there for when they start and give them some rules like that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let them know that if it's too cold, nobody's gonna be there. There's no sense wasting
Yeah.
electricity and everything else there.
I mean, give them the 2 hours for showing up, and if it's gonna, if it's gonna be, they can tell if somebody's gonna come or not.
Yeah.
So, I would offer them the 2 hours to show up, but lock up even if they go home because of the weather.
And in daylight hours, you might have somebody straggle in, but at night, though the lights are off, that means it's too cold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I ask for a motion on this one yet, Ryan?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I did. Okay, all those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye, with everybody knowing about that cold weather rule. Okay. Aye, okay, motion passed. Okay. Moving right along. The senior center phone. Last year, the city switched phone carriers for both City Hall and the senior center. However, the phone services at the senior center have been very unreliable, and they are requesting to go back to their original carrier. Going back to CenturyLink will be roughly a $10 increase per month compared to the current carrier, SoTel. Currently, we pay $58, so I'm assuming it's $68, correct, Ryan?
Right around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. I guess that they're really having spotty service, so.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do with kind of our internet situation and kind of a new fancy phone. They were having some problems with getting voicemails. So they were requesting me listen just to note they are purchasing a new freezer and warming thing out of their own funds. So I figured this might be a good compromise for the city.
Okay.
Is that, when we get fiber into here, is that can they use that off of there, to like call?
They can. It's more of a phone use problem.
Technology.
Okay.
Well, we'll work with the service co-op and get the best service for the senior center as we can. That's the bottom line here,
What's our
right?
phones through now?
Well,
Our phones are through SoTel. It's a voice over IP right there. So with our current service, they kind of go in and out, and you need to reset the phones every time the internet flashes. That problem will be solved once the fiber comes in.
Are we gonna be able to go through the north, our phones? Okay, that'll be, yeah.
Okay. I'll make the motion to approve the phone service change for the senior center. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Paul. Okay. All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
well, even if the power goes out with the landline, they can still call.
Right.
With the system they got, I'm assuming they can't.
I don't know. I've never.
Well,
Yeah, no, if the power's out,
they're out.
they're out.
So the landline allows you to receive or make a call without power. So,
Okay, next on the agenda is Employment Contracts Ordinance 19-03, and we are going to move into closed session to do this. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Stuart. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Paul. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We'll move into closed session. All set?
Also.
Okay. Is there a motion to come out of closed session and open the meeting again publicly?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Stuart. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Jim. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Okay, we'll move on with our agenda. The next agenda item will have motion to approve the employment contract between the city and finance manager Thronson. Is there a motion to approve that contract?
I'll make a
make-
motion.
Motion by Stuart. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Paul. Further comment? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Motion to approve the employment contract between the city and clerk administrator Pervenanzi. Is there a motion to approve the contract? I'll make that motion. Is there support?
support.
Support by John. Further comment? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Motion to approve ordinance 19-3. Ordinance 19-3 refers to salaries for the mayor, the city council, and special board meetings or meetings outside of the city council confines. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 19-03?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Stuart. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Paul. Further comment? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay. Next, we're up to comments from the council. Paul, I'm gonna pick on you.
You are.
Got anything?
I don't, other than I'm glad to be back.
It's nice to see you. Yeah, I know you're busy this
Sorry,
summer. You have to take care of business
Able to
too.
make it a lot this summer due to work, but I'm back.
Okay. So nothing. Okay, James. Okay. Stuart.
Attended a meeting for Rams organization today on employee evaluations and budget approval. Other than that, nothing else.
Okay. John?
Just like I said earlier, is follow up on, we give you a warning when we give you a blight ticket, and now we'll post the follow-ups. I mean, it goes from a warning with a certain amount of time to a misdemeanor to the gross misdemeanor. And everybody's gonna be able to, you got your choice, do what you gotta do, or otherwise the court system will take care of you.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. I'd like to follow up on John's comment that we do have a blight committee that goes around and looks, and we're not trying to single anybody out, but we're trying to make it fair to all of the residents of our fair city that you have to follow rules and regulations. If you're building, if you're changing some structures, you have to have a permit. If you have a question, do I need a permit? Come to the city hall. Ryan will certainly let you know whether you have to have a permit, don't have to have a permit, and do whatever. We don't want to get into the position where we have to give out these warnings, which are following by misdemeanors, gross misdemeanors, and fines, and liens, and things like that. We are trying to work proactively to make our city clean, welcoming. You'd be surprised, we have a lot of groups that come to look at that school. They want to come in there. The first thing they do is they ride around town. They want to see what the town looks like. And if it's blighted and run down, they're going to have second thoughts about that. That is so huge. In any business relocating to an area, a city, a community, whatever, they want to know what's it like up there. Are the people responsible? Do they care about their communities and their area? So we are just doing this as part of selling our city of Buhl, Minnesota. It's nothing personal. It's just that we are going to follow ordinance that are all been enforced. We've put a couple new ones in since I became mayor in January, but they're mainly just clarifying some of the things that we have. So there's no major new changes. If you have a question, please talk to the city. With that, I have nothing else. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Stuart. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Jim. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.